Daniel's integrity was so great that even a king favored him. But his faithfulness to God stirred jealousy in the hearts of his rivals. They couldn't find any fault in him, so they created a trap, a law that forbade praying to anyone but the king for 30 days. Daniel knew the decree, and he knew the penalty was death. But he would not turn his back on God. He went to his room, opened his window toward Jerusalem, and prayed, just as he had always done. He chose faith over fear. Thrown into a den of hungry lions, his fate seemed sealed. But the God Daniel served did not abandon him. An angel was sent to shut the mouths of the lions, and Daniel spent the night in perfect peace. His story teaches us that a faith that is not tested cannot be trusted. And when our faith is pure, not even a den of lions can stand against the power of God. A king's command had been given. When the music sounds, everyone must bow to a golden idol. The price for disobedience? A furnace heated 7 times hotter than usual. Yet 3 young men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, stood tall. Their allegiance was not to an idol of gold, but to the living God. Brought before the enraged king, their response echoes through history. They said, "If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us. But even if he does not, we want you to know, Your Majesty, that we will not serve your gods." Theirs was a faith not dependent on deliverance, but on the character of God himself. And in the heart of the fire, they did not find death. They found the presence of God walking with them, proving that the hottest fires are no match for a faith that refuses to burn. What happens when a prophet of God runs away? The story of Jonah is not just about a great fish. It's about a great God whose mercy is relentless. God called Jonah to go to the city of Nineveh, but Jonah despised them, so he ran. He boarded a ship sailing to the farthest corner of the known world, thinking he could escape God's presence. But you cannot flee from the one who created the seas. A mighty storm arose, and the terrified sailors discovered Jonah was the cause. Cast into the sea, Jonah did not find death, but a divine intervention he never expected. For 3 days, in the darkness of the great fish's belly, he was stripped of his pride and finally prayed. His story reminds us that sometimes we end up in the darkest places because we are running from our purpose. But even there, God's mercy can find us, rescue us, and set our feet back on the path he has chosen. On Mount Carmel, a nation's faith was on the line. It was a showdown. One man, the prophet Elijah, against 450 prophets of a false god, Baal. The challenge was simple. The God who answers with fire from heaven is the true God. All day the prophets of Baal cried out. They danced, they shouted, they pleaded, but there was no answer, only silence. Then it was Elijah's turn. He didn't just build an altar. He made the miracle seem impossible, drenching it with water until it was soaked through. Then, with all of Israel watching, he prayed a simple, powerful prayer, and fire fell from heaven. It consumed everything. It was a dramatic, undeniable display that settled the question once and for all. This story is a powerful reminder. You must choose who you will serve, for the one true God does not share his glory.